ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतावतारं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। नमो महावरान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। I would first of all like to seek the blessings of the devotees, in specific senior devotees like Abhishek, who they are supposed to give us some honor. They are teaching us by example. We will also see today in the description. So we are very fortunate to be in the Brahman of Gaudiya Purush. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to the morning discussion on IYF. So today we will be discussing on the glories of Srila Rupa Goswami. I would first of all like to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. I made this Sunday morning program a priority. It's very nice that all you guys coming together, and it's very pleasing to Prabhupada. Today we will be discussing about one of the great acharyas in our Sampradaya, whose name is Srila Rupa Goswami. All of us have heard of these Goswamis, right? They're also there in the altar. So the prominent among those is one of those is Srila Rupa Goswami, and I'll be taking you through. We will go for quite some time today. I'll be taking you through the history of Srila Rupa Goswami and also his teachings, what were told in brief, and some pastimes as well. Some names would be new to you. So as when I tell the names, I will ask you what's the name. For example, I'm going to tell you now a name of a Brahmana. So then towards the end of that sentence, I'll ask you what is the name. Then you all should tell the name together, because there are many names. In a lineage, there are many names, then there is a tendency. Am I fast? Are you able to understand? Okay. So let us go back to the 12th century. This was there was a Brahmana in Karnataka. This is pretty interesting. So in Karnataka, there was a Brahmana whose name was Sarvagna Jagadguru. What is his name? Sarvagna Jagadguru. So So he was extremely learned in the Shastras. He was completely very pure in his lifestyle. He was very powerful and attractive. And because of this, he was made the king of Karnataka as well. And all the other great kings had very great respect, awe and reverence for him. He had a son named Aniruddha. This Aniruddha had the fame of Chandra and spirit of Indra. What is the son's name? Aniruddha. So now we have come to Aniruddha. So this Aniruddha was expert in Yajurveda and the Holy Shastras. This Aniruddha had two children. Their names are, the oldest one is Rupeshwar and the younger one is Harihara. What is the oldest one name? Youngest one? Harihara. So now this Rupeshwar was, let us see a little bit of qualities of this Rupeshwar. So he was gentle and very kind-hearted, and this Harihara, he was expert in fighting with weapons. He was a powerful Kshatriya. So who was their father? Aniruddha. So Aniruddha, he got both their sons married as a duty of a father. After he got them married, he somehow left his body. Now Harihara, who was a powerful Kshatriya, taking advantage of this particular situation, he conquered the entire kingdom himself and he sent away his brother. What was his brother's name? Rupeshwar. So now Rupeshwar, he in a chariot of 8 horses, along with his family, packed up his luggage and all the way from Karnataka, he came to Odisha and the Bengal province. Now he settled down there with his family. This Rupeshwar had an elder son whose name was Padmanabha. What was the name? Padmanabha. So this Padmanabha, he was a very great learned Brahmana. He is a very wonderful devotee of Jagannath. And naturally the people of Odisha, they have a lot of spontaneous affection for Jagannath. It's very amazing and rare thing which even the Sadhaka Bhaktas aspire for. What kind of feelings and with what devotional sentiments they serve Jagannath. It's amazing. We also have one of the Pandas, our Kannaivalli also is from Odisha. You can see that. Yeah. So he performed now this Padmanabha, he performed many yajnas, and because of his devotion and prayers, he was able to beget about 18 daughters and 5 sons. That was his thing. Now, one of his sons was named Mukunda Dev. What is his name? Mukunda Dev. So now this Mukunda Dev also, he was also a very great devotee of Jagannath, obviously, because he was there in that Odisha province in the beginning. And several years, this Mukunda Dev, he served the Lord very nicely, and he had several sons. One amongst those sons was Kumaradev. What is his name? Kumaradev. So now this Kumaradev, he was married to a very chaste and pure, hearted lady, whose name was Revati. What is her name? Revati. So now both of them were very exalted personalities, and somehow because of some family differences in their relative side, this Kumaradev and his family, they moved to east of Bengal, which is currently Bangladesh. Previously Bangladesh was a part of that, the whole Bengal. And he settled down in a village called Bakla Chandrati. And he also prioritized building a house in Faikyabad. Why did he do that? Although he had a house in another village, because he wanted to prioritize devotee association. So in that particular village where he built a house, there was devotee association. This is a very important lesson what we learn. And no matter how busy we become or wherever we go in our life, devotee association should always be a priority in our life, isn't it? So we can see that from this example. Now this Kumaradev had 3 children. Listen carefully. Their names are Amar, Santosh and Srivala. What are the names? Amar, Santosh and Srivala. And this is the last. So these 3 personalities later were known as Sri Sanatana Goswami, Guru Goswami and Anupam, respectively. In future they became. Now these are 3 glorious brothers. From their birth, they had pure devotional sentiments for the Lord, and they were serving Him in a very pure fashion. And as they grew up, because of their purity, many people would get attached to them. This is one very amazing quality of a devotee. Even a devotee internally thinks of the Lord, and because of that, he does an external duty also nicely. It's not okay, he's only thinking of God and he's not doing anything. We can see this. They did their duties very nicely. And they were so influential in the Hindu community that those days the ruler of that particular Bengal province was Nawab Hussain Shah. What was his name? Nawab Hussain Shah. So he was a very atrocious ruler. We will discuss about him going forward. But he wanted to have someone who would control the Hindu community. And he found out that these two people, or these three brothers in fact, they were very, very influential in the society. If I am able to hire them as ministers, then I am able to control the Hindu community. That was his thought process. So he went to them and he said, offer letter. I'm just putting in the current terms, but he told them that can you work as ministers? They said, how can we work? Then he threatened them that if you don't work for me, I will cause havoc in the Hindu community. He had the power, he could do all sorts of nonsense. So then he, chastised them and he forced them. Then they had no choice but to take the role of finance minister and prime minister of that particular state, just so that the Hindus are saved. See, this is the Vaishnava. Paradukha Dukhi. He does not feel, okay, I'll go back to world, I'll let them suffer. You can see that. They feel for the suffering of other humanities. And they see that if by my efforts, someone can get some little help in their Krishna consciousness also, let me do it. So here they were ready to take the role of ministers in a Muslim kingdom just so that the Hindus could practice their Krishna consciousness nicely. That was their thing. So now they were so good at their work that Nawab Hussain Shah gave them Muslim titles, which was at that time was like something very great, like Padma Bhushan or something very big title. So Sanatan Goswami was given the title as Sakar Malik. What was the title? Sakar Malik. And Rupa Goswami was given the title as Dabir Khas. So these were the names given by Nawab Hussain Shah to these ministers. And he was a very, very violent and cruel king. He used to go to many, many kingdoms, conquer them, do all kind of atrocities. Now, and as he would go outside conquering many, many kingdoms, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami would manage the current kingdom because he is most of the time outside conquering, isn't it? So now, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, so now where are we? We are in Bengal stage, in the province, in a town named Ramkeli. What is the name? Ramkeli. So this is a very nice place. So here, these three brothers, Rupa, Sanatan and Anupam, they were always immersed in loving service of the Lord. In fact, they were given one palace each by Nawab Hussain Shah. Why? Because they are ministers, isn't it? So they are given big palaces. Now what did they do? They didn't say, anyway, now we have got palaces. Behind in the garden, they made a Bhutta Vrindavan. They made Radha Kund, they made Shyam Kund. They actually had a lot of temple replicas of Vrindavan. And they would somehow, whatever work is there, properly they will do, finish their work and go to the garden. Like that was their consciousness. Throughout the day, they would do their activities, and morning and evening, they would be immersed in serving the Lord in this Vrindavan place. So that's what they did. Now, this Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, I told you they had big palaces. Now in a big palace, what can you have? A normal karmi or any other person. He would have built facilities for himself, isn't it? But you know what? Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they built big halls, something like this, where hundreds of Vaishnavas come together and do Harikatha. See, that is a Vaishnava. He just does not want to hear himself. He wants to also try to create a facility where others could also practice their Krishna consciousness, isn't it? So there are hundreds of Vaishnava scholars all over the country who would be invited by Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, and they would come and discuss. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami will sit in their classes and they will hear from those who know the subject matter very nicely. So they will eagerly hear, although they know more than the speaker also. So that is their humility. And these two people, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they were the greatest of the scholars in the entire world in the language of Sanskrit, Persian, local Bengali language, and the Oriental language. They were the greatest authorities of all the Shastras, whatever one could think of at that time. They were multi-billionaires. They had wealth full of boats, and boats those days they would store in boats, and then like say the royal treasury. They had a lot of wealth. They were multi-billionaires, but they were always very, very humble. Whenever any guest would come to their house, whether he be a billionaire like him or a poverty-stricken person, they would get down, offer their obeisances, and they would offer respect to their guest. This is a very important thing. Whenever we see a Vaishnava for the first time, or a devotee for the first time, we offer obeisances, isn't it? That's why even before we enter the temple hall, even before we offer obeisances to the Lord, we offer obeisances to the Vaishnavas, or the devotees of the Lord. That's how much devotees are they hold a very great place in our heart, isn't it? So these Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they remained absorbed in hearing and chanting, and along with that they were doing their duties as Prime Minister and Finance Minister. So they were doing their duties pretty well. Now, one day, the father of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Anupam, what is his name? Kumaradev. Very good. So Kumaradev, he was thinking, he was weeping day and night in anxiety. My God, my children are in such a lamentable position. Now, if you see, were they in a lamentable position? Any normal father, if their child is living in a big palace and having billions of dollars or billions of rupees, he would be very ecstatic. See my son lives there, very happy to. But Kumaradev was a Vaishnava, and he considered these things. He told, okay, if you have these things around, it doesn't make much of a difference. You should be engaged in service to the Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is on this planet, isn't it? Now you should be engaged in that service to me. What are you doing this nature? Serving over there. That was how he was thinking. He actually deployed the Brahmanas to do yajnas so that his son or his children could get out of the shackles of material life. See, this is actually a father. A father means he will pray. The parent's duty is, as per the Shastras, that they give their child such education and Krishna consciousness that birth of that child should be the last one. That is the parent's duty. So he did his duty pretty well. That we can also see in the case of Prabhupada's father, isn't it? What is the name of Prabhupada's father? Gaur even Sri Prabhupada dedicates his Krishna book also to his father, isn't it? So we can also see the Abhay Sharan series video where we can see that how Sri Prabhupada's father also trained him up like this. So one day, Sanatana Goswami had a dream. You know what was the dream? In this dream, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself appeared. And he understood the moment something like this came, this personality is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he understood this. He wanted to confirm this Rupa Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami told this Rupa Goswami, I got some amazing personality in my dream. And he said, okay, can you describe? And then when he described, the Rupa Goswami also confirmed, yes, he is none other than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is incarnate on earth. So now they approached their mother. So their mother, she told them, see, you all should go and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has come here to save all of you from material existence. So you should try to do some service. But they said, we are finance minister and prime minister, what to do? Then she said, you can see guidance from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it? See, the parents' duty is to guide their children to a guru. That is, you can see here what is being done. The father and mother, like mother in this case, she's guiding him to Chaitanya. In their case, Chaitanya was the only guru. So she guided him to Chaitanya. And there, now those days, no WhatsApp, no call. So then how will we communicate with Chaitanya? So they wrote letters. So they actually wrote letters to Chaitanya saying that please help us get out of the clutches of Nawab Hussain Shah. Please, my Lord, save us. They wrote one letter. It was like, say, 1 month. Now, those days it takes time also. Nowadays, it's an email and it goes immediately. But those days, for a messenger to go from, like, say, Ramkeli to another place, Puri, it takes time. So, they were waiting for 1 month, no reply. Then they told Mataji, they told her, no reply. She said, try. Then once more they wrote. Like this, several times they wrote multiple letters, but no response. After multiple attempts over a period of a couple of months, finally, a one-liner reply came from Chaitanya. You know what was the one-liner reply? I will read it out for you very nicely. Here, relatively, just as a young lady who is married If she falls in love with another man, then another man than her husband, then she performs her duty to her husband exceptionally. Why? So that his husband doesn't have any doubt that she is thinking of her man. And while serving her husband, she is constantly thinking of past. This was the reply to them. That's all. Only this was it. Now they are quite smart enough to understand this. They understood that the Lord wants us to serve, do our duties as parents, but always internally think of Krishna. Like the example is given, like how the analogy of the young lady or the parent is mentioned, right? So, and the Lord always hears the prayers of His devotees. See, this is one very important thing we should always remember. At times our prayers are not immediately answered, but the Lord does hear the prayers of His devotees. So Lord, He decided that I'm going to a pilgrimage. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always was very eager to go to Vrindavan. So one day he decided that I'll go from Puri to Vrindavan. And he began his journey by the blessings of the Vaishnavas. See, this is one very important thing to learn. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, before he went to Vrindavan Dham or any Dham, he took permission of whom? The assembled Vaishnavas. See, if Krishna himself takes permission of Vaishnavas, then shouldn't we also consider taking the permission? When we are going to Dham, sometimes people say, we just go to Dham. Like that, the Dham will not reveal. Dham is revealed through the spiritual master. That's why we go to Dham only with the blessings of the spiritual master or along with the senior Vaishnavas. That's when the Dham is revealed. Dhams are, there are people who operate in the Dham. Vyoma, Potency, Lord Shiva. They reveal to a degree, we have that service attitude, or to a degree we want to serve the Guru, and to a degree Guru's blessings are there in our life, isn't it? So he took the blessings, and along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many devotees would follow. And wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would keep the feet, because he is Supreme Lord himself, people would want to take the dust from his feet as soon as he gets off. Not he will hold his leg and they follow. When he goes, then they will take that. And because so many people taking him, wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would walk, there were deep holes in that place. So people could make out, oh, this is the route in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went like that. So now, there was one very pure-hearted devotee. His name was Narsingananda Brahmachari. What is his name? So now this Narsingananda Brahmachari, as the name itself indicates, he's a Brahmachari. So then, no background, but then he wanted to serve the Lord very much. So then he thought, I don't have any external facilities, but I have my mind, isn't it? I will in my mind offer whatever best I can to the Lord. So he started meditation. And he began to decorate the road in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go from Puri to Vrindavan. He began his decoration. I'll put flower petals, all the way, the whole road will be decorated with gold, silver, wonderful ornaments. Auspicious bird songs will be coming. At 7, like this he was doing meditation. At 7 point of time in meditation, suddenly it broke. The meditation broke. He was not able to decorate further. Then he told the devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not going to Vrindavan for sure. He will start from Puri, but he will go to Kanai Nakshala and he will stop there. He will come back. He will not go. Then the Vaishnavas were like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling he is going to Vrindavan, and you are telling he is not going to Vrindavan. Whom we should believe? They said, okay, let us see. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go from Puri to Vrindavan. But he did not take the direct route. He took the route via Ramkeli. We all know why. Why? Because he wanted to answer the prayers of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So he took a complete detour. So by the time he arrived to Ramkeli, millions of people were following him. Now, as I was telling, this Nawab was a very cruel personality. Although he did allow Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to be his ministers in his kingdom, he would he had made laws in such a way that any Hindu person cannot perform his, let's say, kirtan or something, or do his activities openly. You can do it inside the house, lock your house and do it. Don't come outside and do it. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He is singing Hare Krishna Mantra with millions of devotees. He entered the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah. And Nawab was asking, hey, what is going on? I have made a law that the Hindus are supposed to do it. Here are millions of people doing Sankirtan. What's happening here? He asked his head chief policeman what's happening in our kingdom. Now this policeman describes about Chaitanya to Nawab Hussain Shah. He says, see, he's a very great personality. He's golden in color. He's the crushed jewel of all the sannyasis over here. And he has beautiful arms. Chaitanya arms are so long that they would elongate until the legs. And that was Chaitanya, and his limbs are graceful as an elephant. And when he roars, it's like thunder. And whenever Chaitanya would chant Hare Krishna Mantra, he would have tears flowing like rivers out of his eyes because of ecstasy. These are ecstatic symptoms, not to be imitated. Now, like this, he discussed the beauty of Chaitanya. And when Nawab heard, it was like amazing. And he was telling, the chief policeman was telling Nawab, many sannyasis and Babaji have come to our kingdom, but there is none like this personality who has come ever before in our kingdom. There is something really special in this personality that so many people are following him. Now, then see, Nawab Hussain Shah was also very good king. So he wanted to hear from other people also. So he called his secretary. His name was Keshav Khan. What was his name? Keshav Khan. So he called Keshav Khan. Now this Keshav Khan was also given a title like Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, but he was a devotee of the Lord. So he asked, who is sannyasi and what is happening? Then Keshav Khan was a devotee. He was thinking, if I tell some more boring Chaitanya, anytime this Nawab's mind can change and he can cause havoc to the entire devotee community, isn't it? So keeping that in mind, he said, this is just an ordinary sannyasi. Some people are telling some rumors, but basically he is a beggar doing madhukari and he has few followers. So you don't have to care about him so much. Like this he told. And when Nawab heard it, he said, hey, I heard from my chief policeman that he is Supreme Lord himself. Why you are blaspheming him? Like this Nawab heard. This is the effect of hearing the glory of Chaitanya, which even Nawab in his heart he felt for. That is Chaitanya's mercy. So now, just by hearing the great qualities of Chaitanya, Nawab's heart got soft for some time. So now Chaitanya was told that this king is quite unstable in his mind. Anytime he can show you off, better pack up. So then they sent a Brahmana to tell a message. Sometimes when the class gets late, then a chitti is sent. So something like that. Chaitanya time of doing Sankirtan was, he was day and night doing Sankirtan. So they sent a Brahman with a message that, you kindly proceed to the next village, otherwise it may not be good for you. But Chaitanya was so much ecstasy. For 3-4 days, the Brahman could not get time to speak to Chaitanya. Full day of chanting, dancing. Then the Brahman told, I have my time up here now, I have to go back. So he told one of the devotees that you can tell Chaitanya. And when Chaitanya was told that now it's time to time up, then Chaitanya said, see, why are you afraid? He is just the king of this world. When I am there, she Chaitanya does this to my feet. Yeah. She glorifies me. She glorifies me. Glorifies me. Support. So he said, I am seated in everyone's heart. Why should you be afraid when I am here? So then he said, do kirtan with most. And this is the time where he spoke the sloka. My name will be spread in each and every town and village. There is Chaitanya speaking as Krishna himself. Right? So then this is the time he made the prediction. And in every town and village, my name will be spread. No one can stop it. So so now like this is continued, and then in the night time one day, these three brothers, who are there? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Anupa. They were eagerly waiting forward to meet Chaitanya. So then in the night, late in the night, they changed their dress to a normal person, because again, if ministers go there, everyone is on the way offer pranam. Then the news will reach Nawab that the ministers went to meet Chaitanya. So then they disguised themselves as ordinary citizens, and humbly they went and they prostrated themselves in front of Chaitanya. They offered full pranam. You can see here in this slide, as you can see. They offered full pranam over here. That yes, Chaitanya, you are actually our savior. We have no other, and they actually felt from the bottom of their heart that they are more fallen than Janay and Magai. Why? Because they were telling that Janay and Magai, although they did a lot of simple activities, they did not serve on Lecha. We are serving this Lecha. Nawab Hussain Shah, who is he eats cow flesh, he does so much of atrocities. So we are serving him. That is why we are more fallen than Jagay and Mali also. And because we are most fallen, we are entitled for your mercy. Because you are Parin Pavan. So if you have to say you are Parin Pavan, then you have to help us. So that was their mood. That's why we also sing in the morning. Mosama Pratita Prabhu Napaya. Unfortunately, sometimes someone who is singing, he thinks, I'm singing very nicely. Unfortunate service. He actually thinks, supposed to sing, that I am most fallen. But externally he is thinking, I am most fallen. Internally he is thinking that I am a good singer. Unfortunate service. But yeah, you can see that how they actually felt that we are fallen. And they took a straw in their street, a straw in their mouth, and they offered full obeisances. That was a sign at those times that this is full surrender, meaning that this is something that was very elevated personality. And then they surrendered to Janam. And Janam said, no, don't worry. I am here, I will liberate you from the clutches of this now. Don't worry. He embraced them and he told them, don't worry. That now, Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they also told him, don't be here for more time. Why? Anytime our mind can change. Then Chaitanya started moving. Sanatana Goswami, before Chaitanya was moving, he told the Lord, my Lord, Vrindavan we should go with not millions of people. Vrindavan is a dham. And if unqualified people go there without proper guidance, they will commit aparadh. So I think that we should go with 100 people to Vrindavan, unlike millions of people like this. And the Lord said, okay. But he continued with many devotees. Going forward in the next village, now there are so many devotees. Then these devotees at times in ecstasy, they would step on multiple tree branches, making a lot of noise. They would disturb Janam also. So then he thought, yeah, what Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami told me made sense. And he declared that let us go back to Puri. This was in Kannada. Where was this printed? By whom? Narasimha Brahmachari. You know, that the Lord will go back. You can see this. This is now, yeah. So when all of this happened, the Bhakti Ratnakara describes that when this incident happened of the three brothers going down to Chaitanya, there was this Anupam had one son. He was a very young son. His name was Jiva Goswami. He was basically Jiva Goswami. This Jiva Goswami was watching from a distance. What are my uncles doing to Chaitanya? And he was attacked to Chaitanya spontaneously. That was now one thing. Now it was quite some decades that Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Anupam were serving Namaprasad. They said, enough is enough. Let us resign. So let us now focus on our service to Chaitanya. Too much we are entangled. Then they hired two brahmanas to perform yajnas. Why? So that they can get more wealth? No. So that they could get liberated from these governmental services. So Rupa and Anupam, they decided that we are not leaving. They told Sanatana Goswami, very good. You also want to come? He said no, because Sanatana Goswami that time was Prime Minister. He had some duties. These people had already finished their duties for their manager. Now we will back out. He said, okay, continue. I will come later. So Rupa Goswami and Anupam, they left their services and they went. Now, they had, I told you they were multi-billionaires, isn't it? So now they were going to Chaitanya. So then they will not go with all the wealth, isn't it? So what they did, they divided their wealth into three parts. Half of their part, they gave it in charity to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas for propagating Krishna consciousness. 1/4 of it, they gave to their family members. And 1/4 of it, they kept for emergency purpose. Prabhupada says this is the ideal standard for the Grahasthas, that they give 50% in charity, 25% for their expenses, and 25% for emergency. Yeah, so that is what it is. And we can see here that what is ultimate charity? Actually, ultimate charity is that which helps people in some way or other remember Krishna. And if we in some way or other can contribute to that is in whatever way possible. That is a great thing. Now, you know what they did? So they divided their wealth and 10,000 gold coins they left at a local grocery store shop. Why? For Sanatana Goswami. Because he was still there in case of some emergency case. So then they left 10,000 gold coins. Now, this local messenger, then they sent a local messenger to check out where Chaitanya is. And they immediately began their journey to Vrindavan. Who is going to Vrindavan? Anupa. Right. So now, meanwhile, Sanatana Goswami also, he was not arrived, both brothers also gone. What am I doing there? He completed his whatever duties he had to do, and he decided, henceforth, I will not go to the government place. So then he so he was in this palace. I told you he had assembly like this where he would discuss Bhagavatam. So he started reading Bhagavatam with the other devotees. And when he was asked, someone told him that his health is not good. Then Nawab sent a doctor after some days. Sick leave, how many days will take? Like 5-10 days. But he sent and he was very prominent Christian, isn't it? So he sent a Vedji to check out. Vedji comes to assembly. He seemed like Sanatana Goswami is giving a Bhagavatam class. And everyone is sitting. He goes back to Nawab and says, nothing has happened to him, it seems. He is quite healthy. Then Nawab himself comes to assembly. And then Nawab comes, everyone stands up. Why? As a respect to the king. See, king is Narada, isn't it? And he is the representative of the Lord for the other citizens. So that respect, Naramala is Maryada. It's one of the Maryadas that you give respect to the king or the people in the administrative order. So he was given that Maryada, and when he was asked by Sanatana Goswami was asked by Nawab, can you come back to your duties? He said, sorry, I no longer have any interest. Whatever you decide for me, I'll do, but I don't want to do your duties anymore. Nawab Hussain was furious. See, we have so much work to do. We have to conquer so many kingdoms. I will go and do that. But for that, I need someone who can stay here and manage. You all three brothers are doing it so nicely. How it goes and left, I don't know where. Now you are telling me you are also not going to come. How will I manage? Then they said, I don't know. Then whatever you decide, I'm okay with it. And he goes furious out of the place where Sanatana Goswami was discussing Bhagavatam. And he orders that Sanatana Goswami be put in jail. Sanatana Goswami is in jail. His legs are shackled. Now, the 10,000 gold coins, what are left by Rupa and Sanatana, that news also reaches Sanatana Goswami. So then he tells the jailkeeper, he basically, it's a very big episode, the jailkeeper and Sanatana Goswami, we are not getting into details of that. But he basically gives 10,000 gold coins to this jailkeeper and he tells, leave me. And he said, okay, I'll leave you. So that's how Sanatana Goswami escapes, and he also is on his way to Vrindavan, like this it happens. So now, meanwhile, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and now Rupa Goswami and Anupa, they have left their duties. They are going to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they go to Prayagraj. In Prayagraj is a very special place because it is a sangam of 3 rivers. What are 3 rivers? Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. So then, there is also a temple of this Veni Madhava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself also would go there. So one day at one Brahman's house, when they were in Prayagraj, they came to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, and with folded hands. That is the time when Rupa Goswami offered this prayer to whom? To Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Krishna Name Rupa Krishna. You are the most munificent of all the avatars, isn't it? And I offer my obeisances unto you. So this was the mode. And then now going forward, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was at the back of Prayagraj. Now, whenever any big audience was there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would do kirtan. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did mass preaching and he did class preaching. Both. There are one-to-one. Sometimes when he asked devotees, Prabhuji, can you listen to one voice? Prabhuji, one boy listen to one voice. But if you see here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was giving session to one boy, or one-to-one. If you see, he takes both of them to a very famous ghat. It's called the Shashwamedh Ghat. What is the name? The Shashwamedh. It is there here now. So there if you go, this is the holy places where the Gaudiya Vaishnava also visit now also. So this is the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke for about 15 days to Srila Rupa Goswami. And this episode comes in detail as teachings of Rupa Goswami. Basically, this is in the Madhya Lila, which are given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami. And in brief, we can just discuss. So in this teaching, it's a very elaborate teaching. We have all heard about it, but just a little brief about 5 minutes as I discuss. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he planted a seed in Rupa Goswami. This is a guru's business. A guru, what does he do? He plants the genuine seed or the pure Bhakti Lata seed in the disciples' heart. And it's the disciples who need to water it and grow it. Now, this seed was planted by Chaitanya in the heart of Chaitanya Goswami. And Chaitanya blessed that I am now planting a seed and this will fructify as a flower and the flower would give fragrance going forward. What is fragrance? That is fragrance of love of God which will spread in the entire world. How? By the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami. Even Srila Prabhupada writes, that we are all followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. He writes in one of his paragraphs of that. So now what does he discuss? Real quick, I'll just show you PPT here. So yeah. So if you see, Chaitanya tells it really elaborately. I'm just putting it in one slide. It is there are 8.4 billion species, on this planet. Amongst that, most of them are animals only. If you see, out of 8.4 billion, 4 lakh is small number or big number? Very small number it is. So 4 lakh species constitute the human beings. So that way, human beings also are very rare, isn't it? Amongst these 8.4 billion species. And amongst human beings also, see, we humans are given an opportunity to get out of cycle of birth. Understand? Athato Brahma Jityasa. Do that. Amongst human beings also, those people who approach God for some material purpose or give me something, they are very big in number. And amongst human beings also, those people who have family, culture and values, very less. Amongst those who have a desire to read the Vedas, they are also very less. Amongst those who have a desire to read the Vedas, those who read the Vedas also are very less. See, desire to read the Vedas is not like reading the Vedas. Correct? Like one devotee had given Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita as it is to one new person. And then he took it, thank you very much. And then one day when he went to this new person's house, he said, how is it going? How is your Bhagavad Gita reading going? Then he went to this, he showed him, come, I am daily touching it. I said, oh really? Amazing. Touching means what? Devotee Hari open and read. When he went to that, the Devamani or God's room where he would worship, he saw the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Means the cover also was not open. People have kept Bhagavad Gita as it is. No, they don't as it is. No, as it is, they have to open and read it. So, one is having it, one is reading. So, people who read the Vedas also very less. Now, amongst the people who read the Vedas, who understand the purpose of the Vedas, Vedas is somewhere, Ahameva Vedyo, to understand Krishna and to understand that how important it is to go at God, very less. Amongst those who understand this also, those who preach this message, they are also very, very less. And amongst those who preach, those who are pure at heart, they are very, very less. So this is the rarity of a devotee. And amongst those who preach, those who are pure at heart, those who are always engaged in pure devotional service or loving service to Lord. Savai Pumsa Prabhupada Yato Bhakti Radoshne, Ahayati Apratiyata, Asuk Prasin. Those who are engaged in this kind of service, very, very rare. So these are the teachings in brief, what he told about rarity of a devotee to Sri Sanatana Goswami. This was mentioned by Sri Chaitanya. Yeah. So this was so very rare. So that is the rareness. And he said that, see, now I'm giving you this, I'm telling you about the rarity of devotee. So even in our life we understand how rare the devotees are. When someone who is a devotee, someone with whom we are staying, he has taken the choice to chant Krishna's name. How rare it is. Even amongst the people who have taken the choice to chant Krishna's name, someone gets up in the morning and comes, very rare. Even amongst those who get up in the morning and come, those who are awake in the morning, you see the rarity is very much. So we are very fortunate to be amongst those devotees who are very dear to Krishna, isn't it? That is the point. And now, he basically tells the rarity of devotee. And he tells, let's see, our devotional service in the beginning is like a creeper. How is it? A creeper. Now, creeper needs support or no support? It needs support now. It needs continuous watering and support also. He said, let's see, you should continuously water the creeper by hearing and chanting. So, in our life also, our Bhakti Lata creeper would be nourished or it would be watered to a degree we do hearing and chanting. And say Shravanam Kirtanam, morning program. That's why I say, Prabhu, wherever you are, even at times you may not be voice physically or you may not be in the center. Attentively try to hear at least one lecture a day. Half an hour something about Krishna should go in. See, for a devotee, this is Yajna. You put Yajna. If you don't put ahuti only, then how will Yajna perform? You will hear something about the Lord. The ears are compared to, as it's a very strong statement from Bhagavatam, the ears are compared to snake holes. If they don't hear the glories of the Lord, this is the word the Bhagavatam says the first time. And yeah, so we are all very fortunate that we are making this hearing a priority. And if we do it regularly, Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, Prabhupada says Saptaham Bhagavat Sevaya, it says Nityam. Nityam is daily. Somehow or other, little bit glory of the Lord we hear. That is very essential for nourishment of our people. Now, along with this nourishment, we have to take care that we have fences. What is the fence? The association of devotees. We should protect the creeper from not, going down. And if we commit Vaishnava Apara, or if we hurt the Vaishnavas, then the Vaishnava Apara is compared to the mad elephant offense. How many of you have seen a mad elephant? Oh, very less, huh? Okay, you want to see? I have a quick video here. Yeah, see, this is a mad elephant. You get a little bit of idea. He is not suddenly, even the people who tame the elephant, they tell, suddenly the elephant gets wild. And when the elephant gets wild, Gaur Premanande, nothing you can do. Just you can sit and watch. This guy suddenly got wild. People are wondering what to do. Just crazy. See, even the person who's telling him this guy, he's not able to control him. This is next level. This is another level which was normal, suddenly got wild. It's just real. How people do like this? Water also crazy. Takes the water and he burns it around. Yeah, see, this is mad elephant. So, when we commit apart to Vaishnavas, then we are doing like this. Our Bhakti creeper is there, and what we are doing is the elephant will come and crush the whole creeper. Now, that is, of course, like what, it's very important for us to understand the gravity of Vaishnava. That's why we never offer the devotees for mistake also. We try our best that we serve the devotees to the best possible extent. So that's what we learned from this, one of the main teachings of Chaitanya Prabhu to Rupa Goswami, isn't it? And the power of a Vaishnava. Yeah. So we should. So what did we learn from this? That we should never commit Vaishnava. So now, okay, you say, Prabhuji is not commit Vaishnava. I should not. Then in that case, I will not talk to any devotee. Better. If I talk, then after happens, then my creeper will. No, that is not the case. See, in cricket, let us take an example of cricket. Say for example, there is a batsman. There are two batsmen. One batsman is playing, I should not get out. Somehow the ball will bowl, I should not get out. He is playing. And there is one more batsman. He is thinking, how should I hit a 4 or 6? How should I make some runs? Now, which of the two batsmen you think would be able to perform better? The first one or second one? Second one. Why? He is thinking, how can I perform better, isn't it? Now the first one is negative, I should somehow not get out. So if we are like saying, I should not commit Vaishnava somehow, and we are like the first person, not out. No, don't just remain not out. You should score some runs. So what you can do? We can serve the devotees. If you are always contemplating on how you can serve the Vaishnavas, how you can improve our service to Guru Maharaj, how we can improve our service to the Lordships, then in that course, then the thoughts of offense will not come. And then he detailed describe about the 5 rasas, which we all know. What are the 5 rasas? Shantaras? Saras? 5 rasas. He told about them in detail, and then he told that now I bless you, that you, whatever teachings I have given, you elaborate these teachings. So this was the blessings of Srila. This is the blessing of Srila to Srila Rupa Goswami. So this is the greatness of Rupa Goswami. And when they were, now Rupa Goswami, actually he was sent to Vrindavan by the Lord. He was given 4 instructions by the Lord. Specifically, the Goswamis were given 4 instructions. What are the instructions? Number 1, they were told that you should, study all the transcendental literature, extract the essence from them, and give it to people. And that's what they did. Second, excavate the holy or lost places in Vrindavan. Third, build beautiful temples and establish temple worship. Number 4, show what is the ideal behavior of a person in renounced order of life to be. So these, what are the 4? Number 1, read the literature and extract essence and give it. Next, excavate holy places. Next, establish temples and temple worship also. 4, what is the ideal or proper behavior of a person in renounced order? Show them. These 4 things are prominently done by Rupa Goswami. Imagine, there are multi-billionaires. They are told, to do this, and they are humbly doing it. They are staying in Vrindavan, doing Madhukari. You know what is Madhukari? You go to some house and say, please give me something. And they'll throw a roti or something. And then you will take the roti and beer. That is Madhukari. Whatever comes of its own accord, they are happy when you ask. That is Madhukari. So the Babas in Vrindavan, they are known for this. In Vrindavan, it's very famous. It's called Madhukari. So they arrived to Vrindavan. When they arrived to Vrindavan, there was one personality. His name was Subudhi Rai. What was his name? Subudhi Rai. So this Subudhi Rai was a very amazing personality. He had a small business. He would spend hours collecting some dry pieces from the forest, some wood, and he would go and sell them in Mathura. See, Vrindavan to Mathura, it's quite some distance. He would sell whatever profit he would make from that. He would come back and serve the devotees with that profit. Many devotees would come from Bengal to Vrindavan. Now, if you know, in Bengal, the staple diet is rice. And in Vrindavan, the staple diet is roti. So now, when the Bengalis come to Vrindavan, they have some stomach problems because there is no rice available in the Madhukari. So this Subudhi Rai would get yogurt or curd for them because he knew that they will have problems, and he would serve them. This is the Vaishnava. We can learn this in our life also. If you always think, how can I? This one thing you can remember. How can I be of service to you, Prabhu or Mataji? Or actually, this should be our consciousness. How could I be of service to you? If this is the consciousness now, even we were reading in Japa book by Gurujal recently, in one of the mornings, they were reading. We were reading how Japa also is to be done in a mode of service. We are serving the holy name when we are chanting, isn't it? So this is what we learn. So when so this now Subudhi Rai, it's an interesting thing. He was the teacher of Nawab Hussain Shah earlier. Now being a teacher those days, they will beat also. So this Nawab had some beating marks on his back. So one day, after many years, his wife asked, "What is this mark on your back?" Then he told that my teacher Subudhi Rai used to beat me, and it was for my good. Then the wife said, "Kill Subudhi Rai. How dare he beat the wrong?" He said, "Hey, killing is not so much of punishment for a teacher, is very wrong." He said, "Kill." I'm telling her. So then he said, "Okay, wife is telling me what I can do." So then he thought, what punishment I could give Subudhi Rai that it would be as equivalent of killing him. So those days, because of some superstitious things, traditions, it was told that if on a Hindu, if some water which is drunk by a Muslim or something is put, then he becomes kind of an outcast in the Hindu community. That was the thing those days. It was superstitious belief, but it was very strong. So when this was done, what did Nawab do? He got a pot of water which was drunk by a Muslim person, and he, in front of everyone, sprinkled it on the Subudhi Rai. Then Subudhi Rai thought, he went to many other Brahmanas. He told, "How can I become a Hindu back?" He said, "No, controls are not possible. Already now over, you cannot, you are outcast now." Then finally, one Brahmana he told, "I have a solution." What is the solution? He told, "Get one pot of pure ghee, okay? Heat it, okay? It should be molten liquid, okay? Then drink it." Really? Then after drinking, what will happen? You will die. That is a punishment for you. Because this happened to you. Like this he was told. Then finally, after visiting many Brahmanas, one day he happened to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, "Go to Vrindavan and serve the Vaishnavas. Chant Hare Krishna mantra and you will become a Vaishnava, which is more than Brahmanas. And I bless you that if you do this, you will go back to God." So this was the blessing given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Subudhi Rai. That's why Subudhi Rai would serve the devotees. And this Subudhi Rai was taken, he took Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami on tour in Vrindavan to all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. So this is how it happens. So now, one day, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meets Rupa Goswami again. Now,
This happened at the house of Sri Haridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri. When Chaitanya would meet Rupa Goswami, one day he had called the Vaishnavas also. He said, "Oh Vaishnavas, this Rupa Goswami, please bless him." Who is asking? Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, is asking the blessings of the other devotees for Rupa Goswami. And you know what other devotees think? What did other devotees think? Why he is asking Rupa Goswami? Why not me? Did they think like that? No. Our ideal Vaishnava, he always sees, whenever he sees some other Vaishnava getting more mercy than him, he will become ecstatic. Wow, amazing. Prabhu, you were able to have 5 boys for the program. Very nice. I was able to have 4. Very good. Okay, whatever. But you have, I pray to the Lord and you have more. Like one Maharaj was saying once. One of the devotees went to Maharaj and they asked, "Can you please give us blessing? At this time, we come, we distribute maximum number of books and we are first." Or basically, we distribute maximum number of books. They were having the mind and they were topper in the book distribution. Then Maharaj said, "I bless you that you distribute more and more number of books and you come last." So others will distribute more. This is a Vaishnava. This is a Vaishnava community which is completely different from the outside world. So Rupa Goswami was blessed and empowered to spread the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world through his teachings. Rupa Goswami was the one who gave us the book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. He studied all the books. Rupa Goswami was such an amazing personality. Those days not typing. Now how he will write? He will write on palm leaves, Now Rupa Goswami was such an amazing personality. Now if you will write on palm leaves. So now page number 1 in palm leaves you write. Can you immediately turn and write page number 2? No. It has to dry down. So he will write page number 1, keep it. Take one more palm leaf, write page number 3, and by the time he finishes page number 3, he will go back to page number 2 because by the time it will dry. And then he will write page number 2. And by the time page number 3 will be dry, then he will write 4. Any author, any damn author, you can ask him to do this. His mind will go crazy. He may be writing also, but he can't do like this, isn't it? That is the promise of Sri Rupa Goswami. He is such a great scholar. Page number 1, then 3, then 2, then 4. Very tough it is. Even in music, if you have to do it, it's not so easy to practice a lot. Yeah, that is the point. Now, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day, he asked Sri Rupa Goswami, just speed up. Rupa Goswami one day, he was told that, "Can you please," he was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "You write many literatures. So, can I see one of yours? So, what are you writing?" He went and saw one palm leaf. And in that palm leaf, one shloka was written. This comes in Chaitanya Lila. It's 1.9, very famous program. Tunde Tandav Nirati Tanute Tundavali Labhyate Karna Krodha Kadambini Kadayate Karna Budeya Spuram Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyana Pritim No Jane Janita Kriya Dhramrata Krishne Divarna Tvai. It's a very nice program where he says that I don't know how much nectar is there in these 2 syllables. What 2 syllables? Krishna. That, whenever the holy name dances on my tongue. See, it's very important to understand. When you chant, holy name is dancing on your tongue. Whether you feel it or not, the holy name is dancing. Krishna is dancing. Sundar Shankar was taking one lecture, I think. It was there in one of the small books of Prabhupada. When you chant Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna are doing dancing on your tongue. You may have not seen, but you are calling them. They are coming here. So, and Rupa Goswami says, "I desire millions of tongues to chant these holy names, and I desire millions of years. 2 years are not sufficient to get this nectar. That much taste he had for the holy name." He can also pray to Rupa Goswami. When will the day come? Sometimes devotees feel 16 months over, finally I am liberated from the holy name. They want to get liberated from the holy name. But so fortunate it is that Rupa Goswami wanted to chant more and more. This is one thing you will see. What test of your chanting? If I am chanting nicely, I will feel like chanting more. Like say, all of us will have an experience. Say the day you chant very nicely. Say you are attentive, you try your best. Even if you are not able to fully concentrate, if you are trying, for example, then after 16 rounds, how many of you have experienced that you feel one more round I should chant? Okay. So so that is when, people are very pleased with this. That we can see. So now, this sloka was at multiple times, at multiple instances, Rupa Goswami Pal was told to recite this sloka at many places, and he did that very nicely. And one day Rupa Goswami Pal was asked, "Can you please tell me Or can you read a verse? See, he had read all the literature and he was very learned. So Raman Garai one day asked, can you tell me a verse which glorifies your worshipable deity? He was a little scared because Shriram was in front of him. Who was the worshipable deity of Rupa Goswami? Shriram Prabhu. Yeah, Ishtadev. So then after a lot of pushing from the devotees, then he said, this comes in Adi Lila also. Adi Lila, 3rd chapter. Anarpita charim chirat karanatirna kalo samarpaitum unnaljarasam sovati shriyam hari purada sundaradati katam kasanti pita sadarve kandara spurita vasachinandana. He glorifies Anarpita charim chirat. What no other incarnation, even Krishna himself has not given in the past. Krishna prayed that who has come to give? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he has come to give that and he glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, he said, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very humble. Whenever he used to hear people telling him that he is Supreme Lord, he would close his eyes and say, Vishnu. And this time when he heard this sloka, internally he became very happy, but externally he was very angry. He said, what are you doing, Rupa Goswami? Your composition is like mixing a drop of poisonous alkaline in an ocean of water. Like that he basically chastised Rupa Goswami. And then Ramananda said, no, my lord, actually his composition, you know what? It is like eating camphor in the highly condensed sweet rice. That is his addition. So that's like they told him. And then that was. So we can see, and even Rupa Goswami was blessed by many devotees actually. Blessings, see, this is a culture of Krishna consciousness. Without blessings, we cannot do anything around it. And we cannot force blessings. Like, Prabhu, give me a blessing. That is not fair. So, how do you get blessings of a devotee? You serve a devotee so nicely. Sometimes some people, they will always blessing. And you do something to get blessing. Even many people, like, even during Prabhupada time, one disciple was there. Wherever Prabhupada went, he would go and jump. Haripol. And Prabhupada said, how much Haripol you will do? Do something practical also. So that is the point that it's not only about asking. Of course, at certain times we ask also. Say for example, someone is giving session for the first time. You should ask blessings from the devotees. Please pray whatever best possible and by the mercy of the Lord. We should seek blessings for that. But it's not like everything you do, you will seek blessings. That is another extreme again. But we can get the blessings of the Vaishnavas by sincere service to them. This was established by Sri Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami did attack blessings of the Lord and the Vaishnavas by sincere service of composing the Shastras and by his own examples, etc. Now let us come back to Vrindavan. The last 5 minutes. In the Vrindavan, what was the second instruction given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami? Excavate holy places and also establish temples. Now there is a deity of this deity name is Govindev. This deity was established by the great grandson of Lord Krishna. What is his name? Vajranam. What is his name? So this deity was established by Vajranam himself, the Govindev deity. Over a period of time, somehow at those times the Muslim rulers would come, the Mughal rulers. So that time the devotees would hide the deities underground. So then Rupa Goswami was trying his best. He would read multiple shastras that Govindev deity is very sacred in Vrindavan. But he was not able to find him. So one day in the bank of Yamuna he was lamenting, my Lord, please help me, I am trying my best. See, this is a consciousness of a devotee. Whenever any instruction is given by the superiors or the spiritual master, even if he is not able to execute, he prays to Lord, please help me, reveal to me the best way I can serve the devotees. So he is praying, my Lord, please help me. Then that time, a little covered boy comes and he asks, Baba, what happened? He was very beautiful covered boy. Then, at the moment this Rupa Goswami saw the covered boy, he was like, wow, what a person, I have never seen this kind of person earlier. But he was lamenting. Why?
He could not find.
Because he could not execute the order of spiritual master. Yet, so he was lamenting. See, this we can learn. Executing the order of spiritual master is more important than seeing the Lord himself. He is seeing Krishna himself. But he's thinking, after now, Sri has told me to find out this. I have not done my service. Then this boy said, okay, don't worry. There is a place, there is a very spiritual place. It's called Gomtila. There, daily one beautiful cow comes and it pours all the milk in the ground. Generally, you don't see the cows pouring milk in the ground. So then he was surprised. Cow pouring milk in the ground? Surely there is something there. Then this boy would I'll take you there. Then this boy took Sri Rupa Goswami over there, and the moment Rupa Goswami reached this place, Gomtila, immediately this boy disappeared. Who was the boy? So the Lord amazing it is. The Lord himself came. I'm very grateful for that. And then he calls the Vrajavasis around and he tells, please can you carefully dig out because you cannot dig like a normal foundation. The DT is there, so you have to very carefully dig out. Can you carefully dig out? And then they dig out. When they started digging, they found the beautiful DT of Govinda Dev. Venum Kwanantama Ravenda Nalaya Taksham Barhavadam Samadhinam Sundarangam Kandarpa Kodika Mani Vishesh Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahma says, Kandarpa Koti Kandarpa, you know who is that? Kamadev. Kamadev was the one who shoots arrow at a person. When any male looks at female or female looks at male. This is how Brahmaji has engineered it. So then Kamadev was in the picture. This Kamadev, when he went to put his arrow on Krishna, he felt it. Krishna was so beautiful that he could not shoot his arrow. Govinda was so beautiful that he really excelled the beauty of millions of Kandarpas. That was his place. So now this deity was the deity of Srila Rupa Goswami. What is the deity name? Govinda. This is basically he explained this deity, and he was very because this is of his service of excavating the Govinda deity, which was very dear to all the Vrajavasis. He became very famous, you know. And now this Rupa Goswami, the Goswamis had very good relationship among each other, you know. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he saw that okay, now Rupa Goswami has a deity, but he doesn't have anything to build a temple. So he told one of his prominent disciples that please build another Govinda temple for Sri Rupa Goswami's deity. And he was basically an associate of Akbar, this disciple. So he did a lot of service and he built a huge. It was the most famous, at that time it was the most famous temple. The Radha Govind temple. It was 7-story. Even from so far people could see. Later on Aurangzeb did have up to that, but people could see it was very famous temple of Radha Govindji that way. So this was Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. We can see that how one amazing quality of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Want to know? Whenever he would hear, actually he would never hear fault of any devotee. Anyone comes and starts criticizing devotee or tells something wrong about any devotee, he will say, I do not want to hear anything wrong about any devotee. Even if he has committed a mistake, I don't want to hear it. See, this is a very important quality. Even if some devotee happens to do something wrong, still we should not hear and take pleasure. It is, the Shastra describes, it is like taking stool and throwing it around. That is how bad it is that we should not criticize or hear it wrong about it. Now, among 6 Goswamis, I told you about the youngest one. Who was that? Jiva Goswami. He was the nephew of these Goswamis. So he wanted to get initiation. So he went to Sri Sanatana Goswami. He said, because Sanatana Goswami was the most eldest in this line. So he went to Sanatana Goswami. Can you please accept me as your disciple and please become my guru? Sanatana, out of his humility, he said, become Guru Goswami. He is more elevated than me. See, he is more elder to me in age also. And he is quite senior also. But still he considers Rupa Goswami more elevated. This is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is 2 things. Everyone is better than me, I am surrender. Repeat. Everyone is better than me, I am surrender. Each and every devotee is better than us in some other aspects. So we have to find out which devotee is better than us in what. That way we remain humble. That way. So now, Sri Rupa Goswami, when Jiva Goswami came under him, he was very happy to train him. And that time, Jiva Goswami was a very great scholar. And you know what service Jiva Goswami got by Rupa Goswami? He told, now you have come now, so now come. We'll have some seva for you. What seva? Translation? No. Editing? No. You have to give class? No. What is seva? Well, come and wash pots. I'll offer Bhoga to Sri Radha Govindji. You have to wash pots. Daily you have to wash pots. Okay. And you have to prepare paraphernalia for my puja. Because I do daily sort of char. I do daily. So you have to prepare paraphernalia. What else? You have to collect and you have to prepare palm leaves so that I can write, do my writings. And like that, he would massage the feet of Rupa Goswami because he was quite old. So like this simple, humble, menial services was given by Rupa Goswami to whom? Jiva Goswami. You want to train him up. See, this is one very important thing. And the Guru trains his disciples in humility. What? You may not achieve Krishna by giving class, but you may actually understand Krishna, or you may understand a lot of intricacies when you watch parts of the Lord. You know, there was one devotee who had come. He went to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He told, I have some questions. Then Bhaktisiddhanta said, okay, wait. You can, like, I have some more meetings, you can just wait. And meanwhile, he was waiting. One devotee was washing pots alone. He told, can you just help? See, that is the devotee's greatness. When they engage in service, serve the Lord. Then he said, can you help? Washing pots? Okay, fine, I'll help. Then he started washing pots. Almost 1-2 hours he did this service. After that, then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur called him. Okay, what questions you had? He said, all my questions are answered. So because when we are humble, then that pleases the Lord. See, whatever service is given to us, in the eyes of Jagannath and Krishna, all services are same. Whether it be in the class, or whether it be washing the pot, or whether it be washing the temple hall. Service is service. There is no bigger service or a smaller service. If someone is told, Prabhuji, can you do setup for the class? Then Prabhuji, you know what, I can give a class also. Whatever is told, he will do it. That is actual humility. That's why a Vaishnava also never considers himself that, even if you read the Vaishnava etiquette manual, like one devotee was asking, Prabhuji, like you asking one more devotee, कितने साल पहले आप वैष्णव बने प्रभु? अरे this devotee said, 20-25 साल हो गए, 25 साल हो गए वैष्णव. Okay. Then he asked one more devotee, very senior devotee, प्रभुजी कितने साल हुए आप वैष्णव बने? प्रभुजी अभी तक वैष्णव बनना है मेरा प्रभुजी ट्राई कर रहा है. I'm trying. As per Shastra, Vaishnava is a very exalted thing. I'm still trying to be a devotee. It's been about 25 years I've been trying. This question itself is a paradox question. By this question, by the way someone answers, you understand how he has assimilated the Shastras. Like this. So they were very humble, Jiva Goswami and so he was, a devotee is very humble in front of Guru and Vaishnavas. He don't say, you know what, I have to do Shastras, I also know. And he doesn't say that. He is very humble. Now, one day what happened? Two very amazing episodes happened, which Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So as usual, he was doing his menial seva for his guru of giving the palm days. Now, one day, as Sri Rupa Goswami was composing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he was doing this wonderful service. One senior Vaishnava came. His name was Vallabha Bhatta. What was his name? Vallabha Bhatta. So this Vallabha Bhatta came and he told Rupa Goswami that, I think there is some mistake or there's some incorrect usage of words in your writings. Now Rupa Goswami will say, you know who I am? I am blessed by the Lord. Who are you? He don't tell this. He told, okay, you are senior, please tell me, you can take my writings, you can correct also. Like this, he told, and he went for bath. Now Jiva Goswami was there, he was watching this. After his guru went, he went to this Vallabha Bhatta, humbly asked, could you please tell me what is the mistake in my guru's writings? Then he told, this is a mistake. Then Jiva Goswami humbly said, actually, he explained how that is actually not a mistake. How it's, he was so scholarly, he could help the other senior understand. And the Vallabha, when he heard explanation, he was like, amazing. Then when Rupa Goswami came back, he told that, see, how actually there is no fault in your writing, I'm really sorry. How can I correct your writings? When your disciple is so learned, how much learned you would be? And when he told his dialogue, Rupa Goswami thought about Jiva Goswami. What did you do? What did you do? I just, then when Vallabha Bhatta went, then Rupa Goswami told Jiva Goswami, you know, pride in your heart. Anyone who has pride, he is not supposed to take it down. Get out of it down. Now he didn't say, I am trying to predict your time and you are putting a little bit of bread and he didn't tell anything. When he was told by his guru that you are proud, genuinely from the bottom of his heart, he thought, yes, actually I am proud. And I am not qualified, I have displeased my guru. Then he went away from the town. And Jiva Goswami, he went to a place called Nandaghat. What is the name? Nandaghat. And he lived there. There was small holes in which crocodiles would actually quite often visit. He went there and was intensive chanting, crying. Once in a while, someone would throw some roti, he will put some salt along with water, like how we take the dal, like that they have water. Very renounced personalities, he cannot imitate. So he was loudly chanting words. One day, Sanatana Goswami was passing by this. He was told by villagers around, there is a very renowned Baba who his characteristics were described. Immediately Sanatana Goswami came to know. Who is this? Jiva Goswami. Then he brings Jiva Goswami. He will come back to the town. And he comes to Rupa Goswami and he says, Can you tell me what are the prime teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sanatana Goswami is asking Rupa Goswami. Now Rupa Goswami didn't say, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I hope you know who I am. I have my mind and Chaitanya mind are equal. This question you are asking me? He didn't tell that. He told that actually, yeah, one of it is showing compassion to the jivas. And the moment he told this, then Jiva Goswami presented. Said, yeah, I should forgive him. Then he forgave him. Another incident happened like this one. Now in this case, there was a great Digvijay Pandit. His name was Rup Narayan. What was his name? So this person would go to different places all over India and he would defeat the scholars and he would get Vijay Patrika. You know what is Vijay Patrika? It means that I have been defeated by Rup Narayan. Signed whatever that guy who was defeated. Like this you would get basically all the Vijay Patrika from many scholars to show that I am the greatest scholar. So now he heard in Vrindavan there are two great scholars. Who are they? Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So he went to them. He said, let us debate. Now these Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they were so humble. They told, actually, you are such a big scholar. We are normal people living in the forest. Where is the debate? Debate is between two big scholars. We are, foreign people. What is the debate with us? They said, sign. Will you sign that you are being debated by me? Sure. Then he gave Vijay sign. Then they signed. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, very beautiful handwriting. Rupa Goswami's handwriting was like pearls. Very beautiful handwriting he signed. And this Rupa Narayan was amazing. I came here with some other intention. So easily I got Vijay. On the way he thought, there is one more scholar here. Who is that? Jiva Goswami. Let me get something else. So he went to Jiva Goswami and told, see your uncles are defeated by the way. I defeated them in the debate. He didn't tell his hand. He told, I defeated. So then he showed it also. Jiva Goswami just by seeing the letter he understood. My uncles are so humble, they may not have debated on it. And see, this is a devotee's consciousness. Why should I waste time in debate? Even from after is valuable. Why should I waste time in debating with someone to prove that I am better? And then I say that you are better. So then Jiva Goswami could not tolerate this. Why? He was thinking, okay, they have signed, but this guy is taking this Vijay Patrika and going everywhere around. So this is not good for my guru. Then he thought, let us debate. Then he sat on the bank of Yamuna with him for days together they debated. At the end of the debate, this Rupa Narayan, he was completely defeated, crushed by Jiva Goswami. And he was in such a shame and he never came to Vrindavan again. And again, this episode was heard by Rupa Goswami. And now, to reveal the glories of Srila Jiva Goswami to the world, Rupa Goswami performed his pastime. See, the guru and disciple relation is very sweet. There's khatam it also. At times, like it appears khatam, but it is actually to increase the rasa. And it's for guru. So now, when Rupa Goswami heard this, he told, why are you wasting your time arguing with a mundane scholar just for your own prestige and victory? Vrindavan has no place for people who are proud. Get out of Vrindavan. And again, he said, sorry, Guru. Again, he did not say that, for whom I did. This is also you don't understand. I am here doing million services. First of all, I am a scholar. Secondly, I am doing million services. Now you blame me for this also. He didn't say that. He said, okay, whatever. And then he went. And he, now, Jiva Goswami signifies the third verse of Shri Shastra. What is it? Krina Bisu Nichena Karor Pesaishna Amanina Manatena Hirtaniya Sada Hari. And he was genuinely thinking, I am not following the principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My life is ruined. He went to Mathura and was doing a lot of tapasya, crying for like days together, the holy names. And now, again, Sanatana Goswami is savior at these times. So he came across Jiva Goswami. He again took Jiva Goswami to Rupa Goswami. He again asked Rupa Goswami, Rupa Goswami, you are doing something wrong. Now Rupa Goswami didn't say, hey, I am in charge of spreading the bhakti literature. How can I do wrong? He didn't tell that. He told, can you please tell me what I did wrong? Then, see, this is a mode of humility then. That, even sometimes someone blames. If you take a humble role, another person's heart melt. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, when he was in Varanasi, when he went to the assembly of these Mayavadis, Prakashan Saraswati, you know where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sit? Near the food washing area. He was thinking that I am not qualified to sit with these sannyasis, and that melted the heart of the sannyasis. So coming back to the point, so he told what are the primary teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Told Namaruchi, Jeev Daya and Vaishnava Seva. And the moment he said Jeev Daya, again, Jeev Goswami, the Jeev Goswami, you do Jeev Daya, Jeev Goswami, Then he said, okay, and Rupa Goswami told that, you are very, very dear to my heart. I did this just for a pastime. And Rupa Goswami loved Jeev Goswami so much that he personally carved the Radha Damodar deity and gave it to Sri Jeev Goswami. This is the deity of Sri Jeev Goswami. What is the name of the deity? Yeah, Radha Damodar. So, and Sri Jeev Goswami was continuously immersed in serving Sri Radha Damodar. Last 5 minutes ago. He was continuously immersed in serving Sri Radha Damodar. And while serving Sri Radha Damodar, whom did he remember? His Guru. That by the mercy of Guru, I have got these deities. This is the consciousness of any devotee who serves the deities. Sri Vigraha Radhana Nityanana Sringara Dharma Niramanjanaro Yutasya Bhakta Saniyam Jatoti Vande Guru Sri Charana Arvindam. By the mercy of my spiritual master, although Krishna, I am not so qualified that Krishna can see me, Krishna appears as the deity, so he can serve. So while serving the deity also, we should always remember it is the mercy of our spiritual master. Because if we call Krishna, says, who are you? But Krishna master says, please come, Krishna, please recite as deity so that my disciples can serve you. Then Krishna accepts. Like when Sri Prabhupada was in Australia, he established Govardhan deities. And Australia was a special case. Why? Because Prabhupada told, generally, the disciples are told to take care of the deities, right? But in Australia, Sri Prabhupada told the deities, please take care of my disciples. Such a foreign tradition is, Prabhupada established Govardhan. So, which shows that the Lord did help them going forward, isn't it? So, that way. So, this is the consciousness of a devotee, that when he is serving the deities, he is always in the mood how I can please my spiritual master and how I can serve the deity with utmost attention. That way. So, yeah. And now, one amazing past happens. Now, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami are meeting next time. No, back on, no. One day on the appearance day of Sri Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami gets a thought. Now, on appearance day of a great personality, what do? Feast. Let us have a feast. But then he said, feast, I don't have anything to prepare, feast also, no kitchen, no purchasing, nothing. Still, he was thinking like this only. That time, one very beautiful young cowherd girl, she comes with a pot of sweet rice in her hand. And she tells, Baba, please take this. He says, this is for whom? He says, for you. Really? Amazing. Then he takes this and he told, okay, this is Krishna's arrangement for my elder brother. So that on his appearance, I can give him a gift. So then he takes this pot of sweet rice and he gives to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami tastes. The moment he tastes it, he goes into ecstasy. He asks, where did you get this sweet rice? Who prepared it? And then Rupa Goswami told that, I know what. One little again cowherd girl, very beautiful she was. She came and she gave this sweet rice. Those days people would come and give. Sweet rice was not given, but they would get roti. But today was sweet rice. Then, and Rupa Goswami tasted it. It was so nectarian, see, something out of the world. So then then Sanatana Goswami asked Rupa Goswami, can you describe me the features of the girl? And when that features were described, they understood it was none other than Srimati Radharani. Sanatana Goswami said, oh, Haripur, we have taken service from our worshipable deity. Jiva Swarva Krishna is Das. We are supposed to serve the Lord, but we are taking service to the Lord. That is not, good. But anyway, the sweet rice also tasted that they could not stop it. But the point was that a devotee of the Lord, if you see normal 99.99% of the people, they are seeing that what has God done for me? They are wanting that God should serve them, as if they are Nawab and then people should come and serve. But the devotee's consciousness is, how can I serve the Lord? As Prabhupada said, we are not bread seeking religion, we are bread giving religion. We feed the Lord. We feed Lord sweet rice, daily morning sweet rice offered. I think some of you got sweet rice in the morning. Sweet rice offered to God, and six bhogas offered daily. So that way we are serving the Lord without any expectation in return. That is the point, isn't it? So, yeah. And in fact, while serving, if as per Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, if devotee gets some ecstasy and that ecstasy is stopping him from service, then that ecstasy also is condemned. For example, there was one person in Lord Krishna's court in Dwarka. He was fanning the Lord, like Chamar Seva. Now when he was fanning, See, imagine you are fanning Krishna himself, the source of all beauties. Like once Prabhupada was watching, like he was with his disciple in one of the morning walks. Then they both were walking, and one Mataji happened to walk by like this. And the disciple he was watching. Now Prabhupada was watching him. Now, when he turned like this, then he saw Prabhupada watching him. He said, "Oh, sorry, Prabhupada." Then Prabhupada said, "Beautiful, no?" He said, he could not understand what to tell. Then Prabhupada told him, "See, if she is so beautiful, think how beautiful the source of all beauty would be, which is Krishna." So imagine if Krishna, source of all beauty is there, now a person is fanning Krishna. He was so excited while fanning, tears would come out of his eyes. Now because of tears, he is not able to see Krishna. So the fanning service was disrupted. You understand? Then he was condemned, "I should not get tears, because these tears are disturbing me from seeing Krishna and serving him." So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu condemns ecstasies also if it is coming in between the service. So yeah, this was Rupa Goswami. He was so absorbed. One last pattern and we will close. So Rupa Goswami, one day, see, he was such an elevated personality. See, these 6 Goswamis are ordinary personalities, very, very elevated souls. When he was to meditate, Radha Krishna pastimes he would tune into a frequency of the Golok Vrindavan channel. Just sitting here at this place, and because they are from Golok. If you see Rupa Goswami, he's Rupa Manjari. The Manjaris are direct assistants to the Sakhis, who are the primary servants or assistants to the Lord. So, well, one day what happened? Srimati Radharani was being decorated by her Sakhis, with beautiful sari and all that. And throughout this decoration, the Sakhis were doing it with as best details as possible. But there was one person who was watching this throughout. There were young people, so then Krishna was behind. See, Radharani was being decorated like this. But Krishna was behind. So she could not see that Krishna is behind. But everyone else could see. So when she was fully decorated, then the Sakhis asked Radharani, "Do you want to see how you look?" She said, "Yeah." See, the gopis' consciousness in decorating themselves is not that how beautiful I look, now I'll show the world that, that's not the consciousness. Their consciousness is, I should be nicely decorated so that when Krishna sees me, he'll feel happy. Even we also, for that matter, we put nice tilak or we wear dhoti kurta. When we come in front of the Lord, we wear whatever the Vaishnava attire. But when we are in front of the Lord is pleased. So, when she was shown the mirror, that time, she saw that Krishna also is behind. That time, all the Sakhis started laughing, she also started laughing. And this was seen by Rupa Goswami. He also started laughing. But exactly at the instance where he was laughing, one guest happened to come into his house. And he was a Vaishnava who was limping. Now, the moment this limping Vaishnava came into the house of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Goswami started laughing. To his viewpoint. Then he was thinking, he is laughing at my deficiencies. Then he was very much hurt and he went to Sanatana Goswami. He told Sanatana Goswami, like this happened, Rupa Goswami did like this to me. Then Sanatana Goswami was wondering what happened. He tuned into the same frequency or the pastime. Then he also understood, Rupa Goswami was laughing for the pastime. Then he told his Vaishnava, he was not laughing at you. He told the entire pastime to the Vaishnava. And then this Vaishnava was sorry, I misunderstood. Sometimes we also misunderstand. We assume so many things, what actually aren't there. That's why they say, if you just do something which assume makes an ass out of you and me. If you just, if it is ASS, you and me. It is like, we should not assume things that someone is doing, wrong to us. We become a donkey. We think that this dude is thinking this about me, he is thinking this about me. It's a completely wrong thing. So now, in this case, this Vaishnava, he was clarified by Sanatana Goswami, that Rupa Goswami is not thinking like this. Now, when Rupa Goswami hears, this is amazing. When Rupa Goswami hears that I have offended someone, actually not a deliberate offense, but I have hurt someone. He goes, Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam, who has understood the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami is compared to like how when Krishna was there initially, Krishna gave the teachings to Brahmaji, like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave teachings to Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami is a very elevated personality. But he goes on repeatedly to his Vaishnava. Please forgive me if I committed offense, please forgive me. He again offers offense. The Vaishnava is like, I committed offense, I just did that you offended me. So this Vaishnava behavior is shown by Rupa Goswami. So there is many functions there in a short time. So, but we can disappear here if Rupa Goswami is coming. That's why we thought we could discuss about Rupa Goswami. Many times we just, take darshan and we pay pranam and we go. But if we can meditate upon the quality of these great Vaishnavas, how humble they are. See, despite being so much learned, they are humble. this is a fantastic combination. We can have. And if you want to learn, just be humble. Anything be. If you learn something, be humble. And if you not learn, be humble. That is the point. That's why it is said that the shloka is repeated again and again. Trinam appreciation, Tanur appreciation. Prabhupada personified this. When Prabhupada was giving a lecture on the four about Brahman, Krishna, Vaishya, Shudra, many people were sitting in the class. One person got up, said, Prabhupada, you think they are Shudras? Because Prabhupada writes about Prabhupada in Kali Yuga, all of us Shudra. You think they are Shudras? Which class do you belong to? Brahman, Krishna, Vaishya, Shudra. Then Prabhupada folded his hand and said, I am fifth class. I am servant of all the four classes. Then that guy actually sat down. He was not expecting this kind of response from Prabhupada. So Prabhupada always was very humble. Even before he went, there is a very nice book called Sri Prabhupada Friend to All. It's written by this is by Prabhupada disciple, Mul Prakriti Mataji, you know. So she has written Prabhupada's pastime. In Leelapur we read Prabhupada's pastime after going to US, isn't it? Or just in the beginning. But before he went, in Leelapur we read beginning part also. But some of the pastimes which are not mentioned in Leelapur are mentioned in that book, where she has done a lot of research on how Prabhupada met many people, he transformed many people, even before he went to the West. So in one such case, I will close. In one of the temples in Vrindavan, Prabhupada, when he was Vanaprastha, he would go and chant almost 8 to 10 hours daily. Intensely he would chant, from morning to evening. That time he was like one person, not like a sannyasi. So, and he would go and seek the blessings of the pujaris. Please help me. My Guru Maharaj has given me a mission that I should preach the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English language in the Western countries. It's an impossible mission, but I will endeavor. Please pray for me. So I think you should go and ask blessings. And this happened, and then after almost 1 decade, this pujari was in the Vrindavan temple. He started seeing some foreign devotees coming. This was never heard of before. Someone having a foreign body, wearing dhoti kurta and coming to a Vrindavan temple and then offering obeisances exactly like the way Gaudiya Vaishnavas do. He understood something is amazing. And not only that, see, devotees, whenever they meet someone, they try to do something. So then this devotee gave backward magazine to Pujari. Take it, want to read? He said, yeah, sure. And when he saw the behind page of the magazine, he saw the photo of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And that time, he said, hey, this was the line of Then this devotee was like, how you know? Then he told him his pre 10 years back, this Swamiji used to come and intensely pray. He used to very intensely chant. He was a very elevated person. Then this devotee was like, oh my God, Prabhupada did a lot of homework before coming. Generally, we are around 1966. He went to US, 10 years, 10, 12 years, did miracles. But before that, he did a lot of other things also. This is all we learned. So, from today's discussion, we saw the glory of Sri Rupa Goswami, and we can pray at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. And we can be humble instruments in the hands of Sri Guru Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj and senior Vaishnavas in whatever way they want to use us in service of the Lord. Thank you very much for already gone. And beyond that, maybe we can just, those of you who want to proceed, Prasad, we can proceed. Others will have 5-10 minutes of Kirtan and then we will close. So, Prabhupada. That's the Maybe if you want, you can all stand up and dance. Or we are comfortable. Dancing will be nice, I think, because. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Krishna